I got to be with my dad and work with him. But it was also, it kind of pushed me to be like, well, what do I want for myself? How do I want, it was clear in my mind that I wanted to have my own thing at some point. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to run my own company. And watching, you know, like kind of like interacting with him at that point was like, okay, I see you, Dad. I see how you did it. There's some things that I want to try on my own, right? And so I just think he gave me the love of owning your own thing, having pride in it, and just working to make it yours. There she is. I'm not going to complain because people aren't going to listen, but it took 20 weeks to get this door here. So we're very thankful that the doors arrived. We started our project based on when this door would come. And so we've had this lovely blue tarp with plastic on the other side up for about a month and a half, 2 months now. So there used to be a window on the right side, a window in the center, and a door to the left. We filled in the door, we filled in the window, and made a nice big opening, new arch, double arch across the top, brand new sill on the bottom. So this door will pop in tomorrow. We'll trim out the outside with PVC. Inside will get insulated, then we'll match the same casing. It's not light, so getting it up on the deck was a little tough. But this was all surrounded by fence before, so we took the fence down, put new fence posts up. We beefed up the existing framing, put a couple new joists in, new outside rim boards, lagged everything, added some bolts to the house, and then we did a Trex decking on top, and then we'll put a new fence in. Now that the door's here, this is the only way to get the door into the house, was up and over this deck here. So we have fence boards here. We're gonna start tomorrow, putting fencing up, get the door in, flooring goes in on the inside. Now we can start bolting to the finish line. If you would have asked me growing up if I live in the city or specifically Washington, D.C., I'd be like, why would I ever move to Washington, D.C.? I'm not a political person. I don't want to roll down that. This wasn't my cup of tea. But around the time when I got married, I was working with my brother-in-law and I had recently started a company. And he is from the Northern Virginia, DC area. And there was more work here at the time, this is 2006, than there was up where I was in Boston. And so I made the drive and I was living in their basement. We lived in Arlington, Virginia, which is 15 minutes outside the city. And we were just hustling, trying to make it work, trying to find any kind of job we could, Craigslist, anything else. All right, guys. Taking you into our project over here on 14th Street Southeast. This is a new build for a client, and we are about 80% of the way through with it. Today we are installing cabinets and working on some trim details. Unfortunately, this project, we're still waiting on electricity from good old Pepco, so we're kind of just doing the most we can until we get electricity. So come check it out. So one of the cool things, the client, we're working on a pretty strict budget here, but one of the cool things the client really wanted to do to set this house apart and kind of put his little stamp on it was our little feature wall here around the gas fireplace. So we had some leftover white oak flooring that we milled into shiplap, and we put it on a 31.5 degree angle and kind of gave it this cool little chevron pattern. Today we're working on a mantle surround that will kind of tie it all together, kind of hide the joints around the stone, and the mantle will get painted an accent color to go with the rest of the house.
Same up there.
So this is going to line up with here, right?
Over here, yeah, it's between that one.
Okay.
And the other the same. We're looking the same space in here, that one.
Right. And we want to nail a cleat here, but we want something here, right?
Yeah,
to nail through.
Yeah, we need to rip some 24-piece in angle.
Yeah.
For I have a space for putting the screws. I want to use the screws for more stronger.
Right.
No nail.
Well, definitely use screws on the back side. Use trim head screws.
Yeah.
This side you can use 18 gauge nails.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
Fine. This is really what's doing the work.
Yeah, this is the holder, all this stuff.
And then before you put the piece, but you can build this on the ground and put it all at the same time. but make sure that we're really focusing on getting clean edges here. If you have to rip anything through a table saw, we want the cut side against the wall. Dead on? Did you bring the top today? Cabinet makers are good friends of ours from Southern Maryland, Amish community there that builds all our cabinetry, custom style. Everything is handmade exactly to the size we want. Nothing out of a box here. Everything's broken down to the 1/8 of an inch. So we can kind of work with the spaces that we have, which is super convenient when you're working in a row house where you're tight on space and you don't always have space to, for a standard 24 or 27 inch cabinet. We can make it 22. We can make it whatever we need to so it fits the space well. Our customers, Dave and Jasmine, they designed the kitchen, and I just kind of implemented and helped along the way. They picked the cool greenish color. It's going to look really good with the white countertops. We have a white backsplash going in. But today's goal is to get the kitchen and all the vanities set up. Some of the things I'm really working on these days is knowing what am I good at doing? Okay, I like to be on site. I like to work with my hands. I like to design. And there's things in this business that I am not good at. And so I've really been trying to prioritize hiring people that can do things better than I can do them. And that's a hard thing to do, because you have to give up control. You have to give up pride. You have to let someone else. It's like you have to admit, I'm not good at this. You do it. But it's freeing. And so my father-in-law, who owns his own company for a long time, for 30, 40 years as well, just my dad, he's one who he's got some great, nuggets of wisdom from time to time. And we were having a conversation recently, and I was talking about a potential hire I'm going to make, and he's just like, well, how is that going to free you up to be more available to your wife, to be more available to your kids, to be involved in the business in the way you want to be involved in it? And so those are things that 42-year-old me is like, yeah, all right, I need more people in my life that I can just give that off to, so that I can do the things that I love and that I think I'm good at. So a row house, we don't have any windows basically on this side of the house. So to bring natural light in, especially down the staircase in the first floor, is to add as many skylights as possible. So we got 4 skylights in this puppy. This one is our roof access skylight. It's a Velux unit, or Velux. So we can get a ladder up there. We'll have a ladder tucked away in the closet here that extends, open the hatch, get on the roof for any service that we need. There's nothing really on the roof, and it's a EPDM roof membrane. Shouldn't be any issues, but always good to have access, so we're not always trying to find a 30-foot ladder to get up top. We have our his and her, Jack and Jill, however you want to call it, bathroom here. Nice big vanity, double vanity. Old Bill just put this in now, looking good. How we design cabinets is we generally try not to put a fake drawer front on the top. I just feel like you see a lot of cabinets out of box doors that just have the fake drawer front here. It's fine, it looks good, but what's the point, right? What's the purpose? I'd rather have a bigger door, get as much storage in there as possible. Sure, the sink sits there, but you get literally, 3 or 4 more inches, which is valuable space. So on our house here, over on 14th Street, we got killer Marvin Elevate windows with the classic 2/2 dividers over with the windows. My personal favorite, I think it looks classic, timeless. It goes with any neighborhood. Siding is all James Hardy siding that came primed. We painted. The deck is Trex decking with the hidden fasteners. Coastal Bluff is the color, I believe. And we got everything is PVC trim. So this house, at the end of the day, when it's all finished, very little maintenance. Don't have to repaint. Don't need to re-stain decks. Everything is clean, maintenance free, just how the owners want it. Throughout my whole entire career so far, I've had health issues dealing with Crohn's. So there's days when my stomach hurts like crazy, I have cramps, I don't want to get out of bed. There's days where I'm super tired because I'm just depleted on fluids and energy and everything else. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis when I was 22 years old. was on all sorts of medication, ups and downs, hospital stays for years. Fast forward 8 years, I was just continually going down, 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 down. I got married, continued to go down, and that first year of marriage, I ended up having to have a total colectomy, which means that you remove your large intestine. I had to have another surgery for it's called a J pouch to have to turn your small intestine into do the function of your large intestine. That kind of put me into a remission for 4 or 5 years. Then I started having issues again. The next 5-6 years, multiple surgeries, kind of felt like every year, to be honest with you. It's a battle to own your own business, and it's a battle to go through chronic illness. And I have to have a strong family support system. My faith has grown through all of this, knowing that God's in control, there's a plan, and that it's not just about, that He can get me through anything. So you look back in your life, and in the moment, you're like, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why am I sick? Why is it my body that's failing? Woe is me. But then you zoom out and you look back and you're like, oh, but God carried me through. I have an awesome wife, 4 awesome kids, a great business, good friends, community. I'm, still alive, right? There's lots to be thankful for. I don't know, Ben, do you wake up with shoulder and knee pain yet? You're still too young for that, right?
Sometimes. Maybe after a long day.
How old are you, Ben?
25.
25. Yeah. And how long have you been working for your father doing cabinets?
Since I was about that age.
Guys, so this is a cool feature of this house. The homeowner, Dave, hold up. Left the trim off for you this time.
That's the first thing I said when I walked into this room, as a matter of fact.
Hey, we helped you out.
Like they're learning something.
We're learning. You've torn up enough trim of ours.
Exactly. I knew it. If I destroyed it, all
We run our baseboard long so that all Bill has to do is